So a couple of weeks ago, the Overwatch team released some additional footage of the Overwatch 2 playtest from some of the pros during the grand finals. There were 3 casted games with overhead spectator view on the Play Overwatch channel on Havana, Dorado, and the new map New York, and 3 more first-person POVs in the damage, support, and tank roles for a total of 6 videos, linked down below. It's a lot of gameplay to go through, so that's why I'm here to give you some key takeaway points along with some things you probably missed. But first, this video was brought to you by... But very quickly, let me tell you about our sponsor, Manscaped.com. Have you ever been ball diffed by the enemy ball? If so, it's obvious they use Manscaped's Lawnmower 4.0 waterproof body trimmer on their balls and you didn't. But you know what's even better is Manscaped's in-shower solution, the Ultra Premium Body Wash. A daily shower gel scented with Manscaped's refined cologne features a luxurious lather for any skin type. Just like all the liquid products in Manscaped's collection, it has cologne quality fragrance that is both subtle and masculine that lasts. Yep, that's aloe vera and sea salt, all right. A perfect balance of tough cleaning and soothing hydration. So again, if you want that ball differential and that smooth Arissa pull, go to manscaped.com, link down below, with promo code KarQ20 for 20% off your order plus free shipping. Also opt into their peak hygiene plan so you can never run out of Manscaped products like the body wash delivered straight to your door. The first thing that you probably didn't notice is that the respawn times in 5v5 have changed across the board. I manually timed it, and on average it takes about 8 seconds to respawn on all game modes shown, instead of the 10 seconds you're used to in Overwatch 1. In some cases, it was 7.5 seconds, but I was unable to determine why that was the case. Both examples I found were on Jexay on the Lucio, getting that slightly quicker respawn, and I was thinking maybe it's the supports or maybe it's Lucio specific, but then all the other instances along with other supports were back at 8 seconds. There are probably some more hidden respawn mechanics under the hood in Overwatch 2, but generally speaking, we can assume a 20 to 25% respawn rate increase, lending itself to faster fights because people are able to get back much quicker. The second thing you'll see is that there's no more on fire meter, which used to be located underneath the character UI in Overwatch 1. Realistically, it was an outdated mechanic that no one really cared about. The way it worked in Overwatch 1 was that any contribution to the match granted a weighted number based on what you did, whether it was holding the objective, offensive, defensive assist, or an elimination. That number would add up and build your on fire meter till it hits that tick there, and then your character would be on fire, your portrait lights up, you say a funny voice line, and you have the right to say only good players on fire to your team. Now, in Overwatch 2, again, the meter is removed, but players are still receiving a more simplified version of some sort of weighted number up to 100. For example, Doha puts in some work against Super here and gets mauled by the rest of the Dallas Fuel, and Doha gets 93. He gets some finishing damage against Glister with the Helix Rockets and then gets 45. Now, these numbers are here for a reason, and my hypothesis is that they're implementing some sort of combat score metric, similar to what they have in Valorant, in order to show how well a player performed throughout the match. All I'm asking from the Overwatch team is some sort of advanced stats or scoreboard in Overwatch 2, please. The third thing you'll notice is the general UI change. It's a lot more squarish and less of the bubbly rounded edge design. The kill feed got squished down a bit, the written objective like stop the payload is gone from the top center, and the ultimate charge is now a solid color instead of all those little individual ticks, and it's just an overall more simplified view. It seems most people have mixed opinions on the aesthetic. Some like it, some don't, but I personally think it's a cleaner look. Additionally, there's individual UI changes, such as when Mercy heals you, there's a directional indicator telling you where she is relative to you, along with the colored beam literally connected to your HP bar. Only problem is it needs more contrast, or like a shadow stroke outline to separate it from the light backgrounds, because it can really blend in when it's white on white, and it's just really hard to see. Additionally, we see the Rhine shield health permanently in the center of the screen with a visual health bar that expands and contracts when your shield is up or down. It's the same for Brig, and Winston for that matter, but Winston's is a deployable shield, so there's a decaying white bar below it to indicate its natural uptime, which I think is a fantastic addition. The fourth thing is general balance changes. Just know that this is the test build, so these numbers are subject to change, but here's what I could gather from the provided videos of the heroes played. In order, starting from the tanks, we have D.Va. Her defense matrix is at 3 seconds, and the movement slowing when primary firing is definitely reduced. She's moving much quicker. For Reinhardt, his HP got shifted a bit because he now has 250 base armor up from 200. His shield health has also been reduced from 1600 to 1200. Charge damage definitely reduced to about 225. Each little bar tick is 25 HP, and Wrecking Ball definitely took way less than 300, and the cooldown for it has also been reduced to 8 seconds as well. For Winston, he's got that new secondary fire ability that seems to do about 50 damage and consumes 25 ammo. The leap cooldown is at 5 seconds now, bubble health is at 600, and after timing it, it looks like it's sitting at 8 seconds uptime. For DPSs, I was able to watch Taio's Mei briefly and can conclude that the primary fire with the free stun removed definitely does increase damage from the old 55 to now maybe 90 damage per second, and her ammo is now at 150. For supports, we can see Ana has her sleep cooldown increased to 15 seconds. Brig's Inspire healing has been nerfed, I don't know the exact amount, but it doesn't seem like too much. However, it appears Shield Bash can now trigger Inspire. And speaking of Shield Bash, we know it no longer stuns, damage is increased back to 50, cooldown is at 5 seconds, travels further, and you can now bash through barriers for extra damage. This is almost like the old release Brig, with the huge added benefit of being able to keep your shield up at all times, basically allowing you to free bash into, for example, a Rhine shield and being able to keep Inspire up without risking being shattered. And finally for Mercy, it appears her raw healing is reduced to about 50 HP per second. Now here are some other general balance changes. There's in-combat healing reduction, so any hero damage within the last 4 seconds received 25% less healing. However, I just want to note that Andy B, our community manager, clarified with Josh No and Jeff Goodman that this was just in testing and probably won't make it to live. All temporary shields and armor have now been pooled together to a bright green HP indicator called Overhealth. This would include Brig's Rally, Lucio's Sound Barrier, and Wrecking Ball's Adaptive Shield. Now, I have no idea if they lose their original properties, but if it's literally just extra health, that means Rally is inherently nerfed because you don't get the benefit of armor reducing incoming damage, and Ball would just be feeding massive ultimate charge to enemies. Remember, the scope of Overwatch 2 balance will heavily rely on many of the other heroes we haven't seen reworked, along with the new unreleased one, so please don't get too fixated on the current balance of this test patch. It's 100% going to change before official release. And finally, for number 5, let's look at some of the visuals and the sound. I want to point out some of the changes you might not have noticed. First, everything is a lot more crisp and visually clear. Like, we can see Transcendence range, Hanzo's dragon has sharper lines, and look how bright Discord orb is when it's on someone now. My favorite change, however, is that anyone who is under Lucio's aura now has a color on their feet. Like, look at the heroes here with the green feet. That means they're being speed boosted, and that's pretty cool. For sound, there's a new audio cue when someone dies that goes to a higher pitch when there's more and more teammates dead, and this is what it sounds like. And with that, I think that's it, so let me know if there are more things in the video that I missed, and hope you're as excited for Overwatch 2 as I am. I'll see you guys next time.